You know, we were talking about flaxseed the other day, and you mentioned it seems like it's one of those like healthy things that just keeps popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
And you were saying how you'd love to like get a really, really solid understanding of like what's going on with flaxseed,
Right.
but like without having to read a zillion articles.
Right.
So that's exactly what we're going to try to do right now.
Cool.
We've done some digging,
Excellent.
and hopefully we can uncover some really interesting stuff about this like tiny but powerful seed.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, flaxseed, it has this really, really long history,
Yeah.
going all the way back to like ancient Babylon. And
Wow.
even Charlemagne was like a huge fan of flaxseed.
Really?
And, today it's like it's popping up in all kinds of modern foods.
Yeah, it's true.
And even farmers are using it,
Oh, wow.
like to increase omega-3s in things like eggs.
Huh, interesting.
So it's really interesting. It has this like long history, and then that's kind of having a resurgence now.
Yeah, totally. So what we want to do today is kind of unpack like what makes flaxseed so interesting from a health perspective.
Right.
And we're going to focus on like three main components.
Yeah.
Which are the omega-3 essential fatty acid.
Right. Specifically ALA.
Right. And then this kind of fascinating sounding compound called lignans.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, fiber.
Right.
So we'll try to like dive into what the science says about like how these things could maybe benefit our health, but also like, kind of what the limitations of the current research are.
Yeah. And, if you like what we're doing here with these deep dives, exploring these health topics, you should really check out the Detox Health YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
They have all kinds of great content.
Yeah, a ton of deep dives.
A ton of deep dives into different topics.
Yeah, so much good stuff over there.
So you should check it out and subscribe so you don't miss any of the future deep dives.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's jump into it. So let's start with omega-3s, those essential fatty acids, the ALA. We hear all the time about these being good fats. So what makes the ones in flaxseed so special?
So flaxseed is actually one of the richest plant-based sources of these ALA omega-3s.
Wow.
Just a single tablespoon of ground flaxseed can deliver around 1.8 grams of ALA.
Really?
And what's really interesting is that research is pointing to ALA as being really beneficial for your cardiovascular system.
Okay, so cardiovascular benefits, it's big for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
What kind of effects are we talking about?
So ALA acts as an anti-inflammatory agent.
Okay.
And of course, we know inflammation plays a role in heart disease, so that's one thing.
Okay.
It can also help to stabilize your heartbeat. And some newer research even points to flaxseed being able to lower your blood pressure, which is likely due to both the ALA and some amino acids that are present in the seed as well.
So lowering blood pressure naturally, that's a big finding.
Absolutely.
So how else does ALA support our hearts?
Well, it looks like it may help to prevent the hardening of your arteries, which is a big contributor to heart disease. And ALA seems to be able to do that by preventing plaque from forming.
Okay.
And it kind of makes it harder for white blood cells to stick to the inner walls of your blood vessels.
Wow.
And the anti-inflammatory properties of ALA also appear to be playing a role there in helping to prevent those white blood cells from sticking to those inner linings of your blood vessels.
So preventing that plaque buildup.
Yeah, exactly.
So I also seem to remember seeing some research that was connecting higher intake of ALA with lower cholesterol.
Yes.
Like lower overall cholesterol levels.
Right.
And maybe a lower risk of, what was it?
A lower risk of ischemic heart disease, which is where you have those narrowed arteries and even type 2 diabetes.
Wow. So tackling multiple risk factors there.
Yeah.
I also thought I'd read something about like ALA and a lower risk of dying from heart disease.
Yes, you're remembering correctly.
Okay.
There's a really comprehensive review that was done in 2021 that looked at a lot of studies. And what they found was that a higher intake of ALA in your diet was linked to a decreased risk of death from heart disease.
Wow. That's a big one.
Yeah, it really highlights the potential benefits of having these fats in your diet.
Okay, so that all sounds really positive.
Yeah.
Are there any areas where there's research, but maybe it's too early to draw conclusions?
Yeah, there's some initial research being done on ALA and its potential in treating arrhythmia.
Okay. Irregular heartbeats.
Yeah, and even heart failure.
Wow.
But it's important to remember that more research is needed to draw firm conclusions in those areas.
Okay, so it seems like the research is really pointing towards some positive effects.
Absolutely.
But it sounds like for a couple of those areas, we need a little bit more research before we can say anything definitive.
Right.
Okay, so omega-3 is obviously a major player in flaxseed's potential benefits.
Yeah.
Let's move on to component number 2.
Okay.
And that is lignans.
All right.
These sound pretty sci-fi.
They do have an interesting name.
Yeah.
But what they are natural compounds that have this really unique combination of both plant estrogens and antioxidants.
Okay.
And what's really remarkable is how concentrated they are in flaxseed.
Okay.
Flaxseed contains 75 to 800 times more lignans than other plant-based foods.
It's huge.
It really is.
So with all those lignans, what potential benefits are we seeing for our health?
Oh, a big area of research with lignans is their potential to protect against certain types of cancer,
Okay.
and particularly breast cancer, prostate cancer, and colon cancer.
Wow.
And it seems like lignans might have some distinct ways of working,
Okay.
and there's some thought that lignans might be able to offer this protection without interfering with medications like tamoxifen,
Oh.
which is really exciting because that's a medication that's used to treat some forms of breast cancer. And some research even suggests that if people are exposed to lignans during adolescence, it might lower their risk of developing breast cancer later in life, and it may even improve the survival rates.
Wow. So how are they doing this? What's the science behind this?
Well, researchers think that lignans might be able to block certain enzymes that are involved in the way our bodies process hormones.
Okay.
And they also appear to be able to directly interfere with the growth and spread of tumor cells.
Interesting.
And then beyond cancer, there's evidence that lignans can reduce the buildup of plaque in your arteries.
So again, with the heart health.
Exactly. It seems like flaxseed is offering all the support for your heart health.
Through these multiple pathways.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that there was a possibility that lignans might play a role in other chronic conditions.
Yes, there is some research suggesting that lignans and other phytoestrogens that are found in flaxseed may be able to contribute to a lower risk of things like diabetes.
Okay.
And even more recently, there was a study that was done where dietary lignans from flaxseed actually helped mice to recover from radiation exposure.
Wow.
And the mice showed less inflammation, less injury, reduced oxidative damage and scarring, and even a better survival rate.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
That's incredible.
But of course, we need more research to know if these effects would actually translate to humans.
Right. That makes sense, but that is a very, very interesting finding.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so omega-3s, we got lignans covered.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to our final component of the flaxseed power trio.
Okay.
Fiber.
Right.
I mean, we all know fiber is important. So what's so special about the fiber in flaxseed?
Well, flaxseed is great because it provides both types of fiber, the soluble and insoluble.
Okay.
And they each offer unique benefits.
Okay.
So the soluble fiber acts like a sponge.
Okay.
So it absorbs water and it helps to slow down your digestion.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be really helpful for regulating your blood sugar.
Okay.
And potentially even lowering your cholesterol.
And what about the insoluble fiber?
So insoluble fiber is the kind that doesn't dissolve.
Okay.
So what it does is it adds bulk to your stool.
Right.
And that's what helps you to, stay regular and prevent constipation.
So it's like a two-pronged approach to the fiber?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So how much fiber are we getting in like a serving of flaxseed?
In 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed, you get about 2 grams of fiber.
Okay.
And depending on your individual needs and your dietary guidelines, that can be anywhere from 5 to 8% of your daily recommended intake.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier about the cholesterol lowering effect.
Yes.
And I think I remember seeing that flaxseed's ability to do that is linked to the fiber.
Yes, exactly.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so a research review found that flaxseed can have a beneficial impact on what's called LDL cholesterol, which is your bad cholesterol, and also on total cholesterol.
Okay.
And it seems to be particularly helpful for people who already have elevated cholesterol levels.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it works is that the fiber binds to bile salts in your digestive system.
Okay.
And then in order to create more bile salts, your liver then needs to pull cholesterol from your bloodstream.
Oh, that's interesting. So a very natural way to kind of help to manage those cholesterol levels.
Right. So we talked about cholesterol. We know fiber can sometimes play a role in blood sugar and insulin sensitivity.
Right.
Is that true with the fiber in flaxseed?
It is so that soluble fiber in whole flaxseed, by slowing down your digestion, also slows down how quickly the sugar from your food is absorbed into your bloodstream.
Okay.
And that can help to stabilize blood sugar levels and possibly even improve your insulin sensitivity.
Okay.
And there's even some initial research that suggests that the lignans in flaxseed may also contribute to modestly improving blood sugar levels in adults with type 2 diabetes.
Wow. Okay, so this tiny little seed is a powerhouse.
It really is.
With those 3 components, are there other health benefits that we might see with flaxseed?
Yeah, there are a few other areas where research is starting to show some promise.
Okay.
One of them is its antioxidant properties.
Okay.
So flaxseed contains all these different compounds that can act as antioxidants, and those does help to protect your cells from damage from free radicals. And we know free radicals can contribute to a lot of different diseases like cancer and heart disease.
Always good to have more antioxidants.
Absolutely.
We hear a lot about inflammation and how that can be linked to different health issues.
Yeah, chronic inflammation is definitely linked with a lot of things.
Does flaxseed have any effect on inflammation?
It looks like it might.
Okay.
So both the ALA and the lignans in flaxseed have shown potential in reducing inflammation that's associated with some conditions, like Parkinson's disease and asthma.
Oh, wow.
And it looks like they're able to do that by blocking the production of pro-inflammatory substances in your body.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and that anti-inflammatory action is also thought to play a role in preventing things like heart attack and stroke because it helps to reduce the inflammation in the arteries.
Okay, so multi-purpose there.
Yeah.
Now, I remember seeing some mixed information about flaxseed and hot flashes in menopausal women.
Yeah.
What's the latest on that?
Well, the research has been a little bit inconsistent in that area. There was a study done back in 2007 that showed that women who consumed ground flaxseed did experience a reduction in how often they had hot flashes and also the intensity of the hot flashes.
Okay.
But then more recently, there was a study that didn't find a significant difference between taking flaxseed and taking a placebo.
Huh.
So it may be that flaxseed can help some women manage hot flashes, but the evidence overall isn't really conclusive yet.
So not a guaranteed fix there.
Right.
What about weight management? Is there any evidence that flaxseed could play a role there?
There is some evidence that suggests it might.
Okay.
That soluble fiber that we were talking about by slowing down your digestion and making you feel full could play a role in weight management.
Okay.
And there was even a study that was done where consuming flaxseed hulls led to a greater percentage of participants losing weight compared to the placebo group.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Okay, so beyond these specific benefits, what about flaxseed in general? Like, what does its overall nutritional profile look like?
Yeah, so flaxseed actually contains a lot of different vitamins and minerals.
Okay.
It's a good source of thiamine, copper, manganese, magnesium, and phosphorus.
Wow.
So it's a really nutrient-dense food overall.
So it really does sound like a nutritional powerhouse.
Absolutely.
But it's important to keep things in perspective, right?
Yeah.
Flaxseed isn't like a magic bullet.
Exactly. It offers all these potential benefits, but it's really important to remember that no single food or supplement is like a guaranteed cure for any kind of health problem.
Right.
And flaxseed really works best as part of a healthy lifestyle overall.
Okay, so it's one component of many.
Exactly.
Are there any groups of people who maybe should be cautious about using flaxseed?
Yes, there are some considerations.
Okay.
So pregnant women and women who are breastfeeding should talk to their doctor before they regularly consume ground flaxseed.
Okay.
Because there needs to be more research in those specific populations. Flaxseed can also interact with some medications like blood thinners, antiplatelet drugs, and cholesterol-lowering medications.
Yeah.
People with hormone-sensitive cancers or those who are undergoing hormone therapy should also be cautious because of the potential estrogen-like effects of the lignans.
Right.
And they should definitely talk to their doctor about flaxseed consumption.
Makes sense.
And of course, anyone who has a flaxseed allergy should avoid it.
Right, of course. So if someone wants to start incorporating flaxseed into their diet, what are the best ways to go about doing that?
So the general recommendation is to use ground flaxseed over whole seeds.
Okay.
Because our bodies can't always break down that tough outer shell of the whole flax seeds.
Right.
So you may not be absorbing all those valuable nutrients.
Got it.
And a great way to make sure you're getting the most out of it is to just grind them at home with a coffee grinder right before you plan to use it.
Okay.
And just to clarify, milled flaxseed, ground flaxseed, flax meal, that's all the same thing.
Okay, good to know. And brown versus golden flaxseed, is there different?
Not really. Both the brown and golden varieties offer similar nutritional value.
Okay.
So you can just choose whichever one you prefer.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
So what are some good ways to get ground flaxseed into our diets?
Well, it's pretty versatile.
Okay.
You can just stir a tablespoon or two into foods that you're already eating.
Okay.
Like your morning oatmeal, a smoothie soup yogurt.
Okay.
And you can also add it to things like sauces and stews, meatloaf meatballs.
Oh, yeah.
Some people use it in baking
Yeah.
as a partial substitute for flour.
So lots of different ways to sneak it in there.
Absolutely.
So any tips on how to store it properly?
Yeah, so ground flaxseed is prone to oxidation because of all those healthy fats.
Okay.
So the best way to store it is in an airtight container in the freezer.
Okay.
And that'll help to keep all those beneficial compounds preserved.
Mm-hmm.
If you have whole flaxseed, you can just store that in a cool, dark place.
Okay.
And that'll keep longer.
And if you're trying to figure out how much flaxseed to aim for, do we have like a recommended daily intake?
Yeah, so the Flax Council of Canada, they suggest aiming for 1 to 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed per day.
Okay.
And that should help you to experience the health benefits that we've been talking about.
Okay, so a nice, simple, easy amount to aim for.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been a really, really comprehensive look at flaxseed.
It has.
Let's just do a quick recap for everyone listening.
Okay, sounds good.
So flaxseed, it's a nutrient-dense powerhouse.
It is.
Full of omega-3 essential fatty acids, lignans,
Mm-hmm.
soluble and insoluble fiber.
Yes.
And the research is showing us that there could be some potential benefits for a variety of things.
Absolutely.
Things like heart health, maybe protection against certain types of cancer,
Mm-hmm.
blood sugar control.
Yeah.
But we want to emphasize that although these findings are super encouraging,
Yeah.
it's not a magic bullet.
Right.
And these things haven't always been definitively proven in human studies.
Right.
So flaxseed really works best as part of a healthy lifestyle. And this deep dive into the health benefits of flaxseed is a great example of the type of content that we create.
Mm-hmm.
So if you liked this kind of deep dive where we look at things in a really in-depth way,
Yeah.
but also keep it kind of accessible,
Mm-hmm.
you should definitely check out the Detox Health YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
They have so many more discussions like this coming up in the future.
Yeah, they cover all kinds of health and wellness topics.
Yeah, definitely subscribe so you don't miss out.
Yeah, don't miss out.
Now, for one final thought to kind of leave you with today.
Okay.
Flaxseed, it's been around forever,
Right.
used in ancient times,
Mm-hmm.
but it's now having this resurgence
Yeah.
in modern health trends.
Right.
And it kind of makes you wonder, like, what other natural remedies
Yeah.
that have been used across centuries
Mm-hmm.
might also have all these surprising health benefits
Totally.
that maybe science is just starting to understand.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a really interesting thing to kind of think about
Yeah, it is.
as you continue on your health and wellness journey.
It really is.
And of course, don't forget to check out the Detox Health YouTube channel
Subscribe.
for even more insightful deep dives.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
See ya.
See ya.